shaping is getting the dog to offer the behavior. Waiting the dog out till they offer that behavior.
Yeah. So with shaping, I might have like a lofty goal, like a really big goal. You know, my goal might be for my dog to
dial a rotary dial phone. You better let one toenail needs to grow long.
Yeah, exactly. Licorice.
Yeah.
I might want to teach my dog to grab a blanket and then roll himself up in it, for example. So this is an elaborate trick.
A dog burrito.
Yeah. I'm not going to get that just from luring. I'm not going to get that from just, capturing. This is never going to happen naturally for my dog. So what I need to do is I need to find little approximations. So basically they're little tiny guesses on the dog's part. And once you teach your dog how to shape, you have a dog that says, okay, I know that in this scenario, when you say, I usually cue it, I say, do something with my dogs because I don't like them just offering random behaviors when I don't. Look at me with my wavy arms.
Yes.
Here. I don't like them throwing random behaviors.
What can you do?
Yeah.
What
See,
can
that's
you do?
A good one too.
Yeah.
I just cue it. I'll have
show
some
me
food
something.
ready.
Yeah.
Do something. Exactly. Just some sort of cue. And then you can go through this wonderful shaping session.
And sometimes shaping changes to something different. Like I might say, I want my dog to back up and, go to that chair. And then they start to offer something different. And I think, I'm going to go with this instead. And now my dog is, maybe sidestepping sideways and, standing on a mat. Yes. I don't know. I just made that up.
Hey, it works because that's the way shaping evolves.
Right. Yep.
So let's use a simpler example than rolling in the blanket. So maybe I want my dog to crawl underneath a chair.
Okay.
So in the initial stages of this exercise for shaping, I am going to look for any sort of interaction or focus on the chair that there is. So I'm not looking for my dog right from the onset to go to the chair and go underneath the chair.
Right.
I would be sitting there forever waiting to capture that because why would my dog offer that naturally? Right. But if every time my dog glances at the chair, even if they're a few feet away from it, I say yes and reward, pretty soon my dog says, oh, it's got something to do with that chair. For those of us that remember games that weren't electronic, because technology has come so far, when we used to play with our friends and we would play hot and cold.
Right.
That's that's shaping. Yes. If you remove the hot element, because we're not telling our dogs that they're wrong when we're shaping. We're telling them when they're right. So we're looking for a guess that is slightly closer to the end product than the guess before it was. So that first thing that I reward might be them looking at the chair. Then I might insist on them moving a step towards the chair. Again, this is definitely not my end goal of them going underneath the chair. It's them moving in the direction of the chair. I'm going to yes and reward. And then once they're readily offering that and happy to offer that, I'm going to wait for a little bit further. Now I might wait for them to actually get to the chair. Now I might wait for them to get to the chair and put their head slightly under. I can use reward placement to my advantage. If, for example, when my dog gets to the chair, I say yes and reward close to the chair, then that really helps to build the desire to keep interacting with that chair, right? So I can slowly get from a dog who has no idea what I'm looking for to a dog that says, okay, I'm supposed to go under this chair, and I can build that behavior from there just by asking him to guess a little bit closer and closer and closer to that end goal piece.
Right, yes. We do have a video on shaping on our YouTube channel. So if you go to McCann Dogs YouTube and type in shaping, you'll find a video.
There's a couple of them, actually.
Yeah, that show a little bit more, because it can be a little bit of a harder concept to grasp. Yes, and
absolutely.
it's an exercise in patience too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And quite honestly, when I start shaping with a young puppy, my goal is just to get them offering behaviors.
Yes.
So I want my puppy to be like, I'm confident enough to guess. We're in this scenario and there's a chance to earn reward. I'm confident enough to guess that maybe it has something to do with this over here, or maybe it has something to do with that. The worst thing that happens with shaping, if they don't get it right, they just don't get a reward. They don't get marked and they don't get a reward. And we just keep waiting, or we set it up so that they have an easier time of guessing that thing.
Yes. Do you have a behavior that you've shaped that is quite...
I've done a ton of shaping with my dogs over the years. I really enjoy watching what they might throw at me. I've shaped rear leg lifts. I've shaped all sorts of different backup behaviors. And I think the sky's really the limit when it comes to shaping because it's just what your imagination comes up with. And it's just what your dog offers, right? If I were to put any sort of prop in the middle of the floor, my dog would probably want to interact with it. And if I started to and reward that, he would go right into shaping mode. Okay, we're working.
We're doing that.
We're doing this thing. Yeah.
I taught Honda to ride along a skateboard with shaping.
Perfect.
Like, you put it down and right away he wants to interact with it and he tries putting his feet up and finally he moves it a little bit and yes.